Hello, my name is Nancy Alvarado, and I'm the UI Connectivity Project Manager for the state of Oregon. I'd like to take a couple minutes of your time to explain what we've been working on with ITSC and the Department of Labor and hopefully entice you to take a look at the software projects and products that are being developed. Back in 2010, NASWA put together some high-level visionary strategies to deal with how are we helping our claimants get back to work. And I think what they found throughout all the 50 states, we have separated processes for UI claimants and then a separate process for our UI customers when they need to find a job in terms of a separate registration. So basically, what folks started doing is, why not do this from the customer standpoint? How can we help people find a job quicker and have them go through less process to get not only their claim started, but their work search started so they can get back to work faster? For the state of Oregon, we came up with a number of goals that I'd like to share with you that utilizing the UI connectivity process, we feel confident that we'll achieve these benefits. We're going to take a process right now that we have separated. We have a separate registration process for UI claimants and then a separate registration process for our job search customers that makes them eligible for Wire Enterpriser and WIA training services, and turn it into a one single process in terms of only having to enter data one time. There won't be any duplicate entry of asking for names, for example, that we won't have customers sign on to separate systems, which I think becomes very confusing. And then we're going to provide them with a privatized portal that will allow us to send them information that's based on our programs that they qualify for, or maybe they might have interest in based on the responses that they had given us. And we had hoped that because we're doing this, we'll have higher usage of self-service products and services that we don't really use right now, and reduce the number of phone calls we get with questions from customers, because we're going to be able to give them information quicker, because every time they log in, we're going to have a message center where we can provide them information. Why this project makes sense, I think, for throughout the 50 states, that the ability or how we've siloed, we think of what happens to the customer in terms of the government program versus what does it feel like to the customer. They need to get information so they can fill out their claim, and then they need to start looking for work. This project, these products that we're working on, eliminate some of the duplication of this information without having to redo your current infrastructure. And I think that's the other thing that I'm going to mention, that New York, Mississippi, and Oregon were chosen to work on this project. We all have very disparate infrastructure in terms of technology, but we're all able to use these products, and that's what makes it very interesting. And I think other states will find that they'll be able to use these products as well. We really want to get the customer back to work quicker, and we want to do it in an automated fashion. What we're going to do as soon as the project is finished is we're going to have them fill out a survey that tells them what their experience was with this project, and then how did it differ, how did they like it, and we feel very strongly that they'll be able to feel that they got good value with this project. This is a graphic that we used in Oregon to identify how we're taking these different programs and integrating them in a process that fits together and basically allows the customer to feel like everything is seamless. It is also the title of the first piece of software that's being developed for the project, the Integrated Workforce Registration. Basically what that does, it's a high-level data entry capture for all the common data elements that get used on these three different programs. And so the customer only has to enter them once, and then it pushes them down to the disparate applications. The other piece of software that's being developed is a Workforce Integrated Profile Portal, and it's going to provide a customized portal that allows the customer to get information from us in terms of letters, in terms of program, and they can check on the status of their claim, and it's going to be the means that the customer goes to get the information about doing on the programs that he's basically working with Oregon. In terms of scope, we are going to take this IWR that collect our common data elements, attach it to our current applications. push this information down. Then we're going to pop the customer into the privatized portal that only they can log into, and they're going to get automated job matches. They're going to get labor market information based on the information they gave us, what type of career they're looking for, and they're also going to get messages from UI and from the National Career Readiness Certificate. And that's a nationalized certificate program that the governor in the state of Oregon has promoted heavily to help people who don't have a job now, that perhaps have been out of the labor market for a fair amount of time and would like to be able to have something that validates the skills that they currently have. It basically is a certificate that validates reading, mathematics, and ability to locate information from charts and graphs. And basically, if you get a gold, silver, or bronze, and because it's a national certificate, pretty much 80% of the jobs out there available to workers that are looking for work right now could be available to them if, for example, they got a gold. So not only does the customer validate their skill sets, they also have the ability to show an employer they can readily offer value. So basically, we are gathering information from the customer in terms of maybe they've been out of work for a while, and we'll send them information about this important program. So we're going to put that as part of our pilot project. The big picture, this is a graphical representation of what we're going to put together for the customer and explain it to the businesses. Now, when you're putting together your teams, you need to make sure that you include the UI, the job search, and WIA, and in Oregon, that's a separate partner organization. And I would also recommend that you have 2 people from each area, because what you'll have happen over time that one person maybe can't make the meeting. And for the continuity of the project, it certainly helps to have 2 people that can understand and then take that information back to the businesses. I haven't talked at all about the single sign-on, but basically when you're going to show a privatized portal, you're going to need to have the ability to authenticate the customer, and you're going to be sharing data with them from UI. So without a single sign-on, you won't be able to utilize these projects. So this is software that either you have already within your state and can hook up readily to these products, or I believe there'll be an open source tool made available to states that don't have it. And so basically they come in, they sign in, then they go to the IWR, they collect the common data, it goes into the current applications, and then the customer pops out to the WIP, where we're going to send them a welcome message. We're going to also show them where their nearest one-stop is, and we're going to show them labor market and job matching information as soon as they complete their registration. This is new automation for Oregon, and I think provides great value. The other thing I think businesses need to think about, or in your states, if you're going to get a project approved by your governance board, it has to provide value. And if this is a 5 essential metrics that was taken from Forrester Consulting, that as a project manager I use to ensure that everyone understands the value that the project brings to the organization. We're developing stronger strategic partnerships, for example, with our partners. This is a customer-facing app that can provide great value. It provides efficiency and automation. And I say growth because it allows you more capacity. You should be able to take the resources that we're doing things by hand and have them do other things. For example, the labor market information. In our current process, that's something that the customer must come into the one-stop. Someone asks them what career that they're looking for, and then we press a button and hand them a piece of paper. So this is great value. I think the one thing that I want to leave you with is that the opportunity for this project is because one size doesn't fit all. Our customers all have different needs. They're out of work for different reasons. And there's the maze of customer and government programs that we have. They're so difficult to navigate. This is an attempt at government to make our programs easier access and to help people get back to work quicker. And I believe it has all of the necessary pieces to provide a great infrastructure, if you don't already have one, to try to automate some of your processes and make it easier to interface with your customer. So thank you very much, and if you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact me in the information that gets provided. Bye-bye.